everyone and welcome to another video. So I'm joined by Isa because he doesn't want to be put down ever. In today's video I thought I would show you how I make my roast dinners. So the best thing about a roast dinner is that you can prepare everything before it all goes in the oven. So that's what I'm going to show you first. So first I'm going to show you the vegetables, and then I'm going to show you how to do the potatoes and then the chicken. I'm going to start with my vegetables. So this is like a separate dish that I do. So in one of these like little ones. I usually have a lot of garlic, but I don't have any garlic left. So, hey! I don't have any garlic left, so I'm a bit sad about that. But I do have cherry tomatoes, I have onion, and I have some peppers, as you can see. And then I'm just going to chop them up. So I'm just going to chop these in half. So right there, just put everything straight into this dish.
If I can't have you, I don't want you to have anyone.
And then with the pepper, I've already used this pepper, but I'm just going to cut around the inside bits and I'm going to put those in.
And if you don't want me, there's something wrong with them, right? Maybe I got problems that I don't tell.
So with the peppers, I'm just going to cut them into quite thick strips and then make them into like smaller squares like this. Can you see that? And then they're going to go straight in, so you can do that with the whole pepper.
And if you don't want me, there's something wrong with them, right? Maybe I got problems that I don't tell anyone. Have I lost my perception?
Okay, so I'm back and I got this bin for all of the bits that are just rubbish. I'll carry on doing this. And I'm not going to do a full yellow and green pepper because my favourite pepper is red pepper.
I wanna do something wrong now. Packing all your belongings. Say you wanna take some time. But if you say we'll meet again, why'd you have to take everything now?
I'm going to chop the onion the exact same way. I'm going to cut it into similar size cubes like that.
Baby, are you lying? Have you met someone? Tell me now. I better start crying. Make them feel bad before we leave town.
I'm just going to break them up a little bit so that they're not all stuck together. And then I'm going to add some mixed herbs. So I like to just pour a little bit in there. Probably about 2 big pinches, like man-sized pinches. And then my secret ingredient is mint. I'm just going to sprinkle on, probably, I'd guess it was about a massive pinch, like a big pinch. Maybe like half a teaspoon I'd say was on there. And then I'm just going to give it a little sprinkle of salt and a little sprinkle of pepper. And then that, oh, also some olive oil. So I'm just going to pour a little bit on like that, just to cover it. And then I'm just going to mix it with my knife because I don't have anything else right now. I'm going to sneeze because of the pepper.
9, counting down, putting on a smile.
Alhamdulillah. Oh. So that is all done, that is ready for the oven, so I'm just going to leave that to the side. And now I'm actually going to start on the chicken because I want to marinate them a little bit. I'm going to start by chopping an onion.
8, 7, 6, 5. You say goodbye, lock the door for 3, 2, 1. And then I lose it. I'm delusional.
So I've sliced the onions, not crazy thin, like not how I would cut them for a curry. They're just roughly sliced. So next what I'm going to do is line this tray for the chicken. So I'm going to just put some foil on. This just protects the tray and it just makes cleanup so much easier. So I'm just going to put that on the bottom there. And then I'm going to put a bit of olive oil on here. And then I'm going to sprinkle all of my onions onto the bottom of the tray. And then I'm just going to kind of coat the onions in the olive oil. Break them up as well. And there we go. So that is ready for the chicken. I'm just going to wash and dry the chickens and then put them onto here. So I'm going to be back in a second. So I'm back with the chickens, and I also have a pair of gloves, a little bowl to mix my marinade in, and a little spoon to also mix my marinade with. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. This just makes it easier to spread. Now usually I would use like ginger and garlic paste that I use for curries, but I don't have that, so I'm going to use ginger puree and garlic paste. So I'm going to put a little bit in there, probably about a teaspoon, like a level teaspoon, and then the same thing of ginger. So I'm going to use about a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm going to use a small spoon of cumin and also the same amount of coriander, so about a teaspoon of coriander. And then I'm also going to use some turmeric powder, about 1/4 of a teaspoon, so not a lot. And then I'm going to use some blended green chilli, so I'm going to use about a teaspoon, big teaspoon of that. So that is all of the spices that go in here, and then I'm just going to give that a good mix. Now I'm going to put my gloves on, and I also found these lemons in my fridge. I was going to slice a new lemon, but I found these ones, which I used the zest from this. It hasn't been touched really, and then this one I used for guac. So I'm just going to cut like the edge bit off, like the one that's been sitting in the air. And then I'm going to shove it in the crevice of the chicken, like that. So that gives it a really, really nice flavour. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Then I'm going to marinate my chickens. This is what the marinade looks like. So I'm going to use half on one and half on the other. So I'm just going to rub that all in, get rid of all of the bits.
Why hasn't he called me back? It's been 3 days. Stalking his Instagram, saying he's in a phase. So now you're telling everyone that we're drifting apart.
And that is the chickens marinated. So they're just going to sit there until they're ready for the oven. And now it's time to do the potatoes, and I hate peeling potatoes. It is like my worst job in the world, so let's just get that done, shall we?
Now I know that it was you who made me feel so messed up. Hanging out with new females, cute, but are they even real, man? Jealousy, I think it's jealousy, but hell with it, still a good melody.
What I'm doing here is just cutting up the potatoes and splitting them like I'm serving them to the amount of people that are going to eat. So here I was just seeing how many potatoes I had, and I don't think I had enough, so I did another potato.
Or maybe I got problems that I don't tell anyone. Have I lost my perception? Feel like I wanna do something wrong now.
At this point I've already boiled the water, kind of, it's almost at a boil, and then I'm going to add some salt to that, and then I'm going to add all of my potatoes.
10, 9, counting down, putting on a smile. 8, 7, 6, 5. You say goodbye.
So I just thought it would be easier if I brought you into my kitchen. The lighting in here is not that great, I'm sorry. I've put the oven on, so I've put it on about 180, and I have put the potatoes on to boil, as you just saw, and I've also put the kettle on to boil as well, because I need to do the stuffing, which is going to go in the oven about 20 minutes before we eat. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Chickens are going to go in very soon. I'm going to put some foil on top, so let's do that now. So I've got my vegetables here, and I like my vegetables done a lot, like almost burnt. So I'm going to put those in the oven first.
The door for 3, 2, 1, and then I lose it. I'm delusional, delusional.
The stuffing that I'm using is this Tesco one, the bacon onion stuffing, and it comes in this teeny weeny packet. And I don't read the instructions, I just go for it. So I'm going to just pour all of that, I guess, into there. And then I'm going to pour some boiling water into here. And then give it a mix. And if it's too thick, I'll add more water. So that is done, and that is what it looks like. So I've just scored it a little bit with a fork because I like it when the tops go a bit crispy, like the edges. But yeah, that's how it should look. So while the potatoes are cooking, I'm just going to line my baking tray with oil. I'm going to put some olive oil on there, and then I'm going to put it into the oven, because I heard that it's good to let your baking tray heat up with the fat on there before you put your potatoes on. So I'm going to do that. So that's in. So now we're just waiting for the potatoes.
Just draining off the potatoes now. I am going to rough them up a little bit, just shake them about in the sieve just so that the edges get nice and fluffy.
We're moving through the night like we're from a different
And then I'm going to add some olive oil, mixed herbs,
we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the
dried mint, some pepper, and some sea salt.
But we go and we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game.
And then give it a really good mix so that all of the potatoes are evenly coated.
Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide, baby, 'cause we're dynamite.
Now it's time to get the potatoes in the oven, so I take the tray out and swirl it around, and then I pour the potatoes on, give them a little shake, and can we just take a second to appreciate that sizzle? And then they go straight into the oven.
Gonna let the world know.
So I'm going to leave that for about 20 minutes, put a timer on. Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
And then we'll see how it looks in 20 minutes.
20 minutes later, I take the chickens out of the oven and give them a little poke with a fork to let some of the juices out. And then I'm going to tip all of the juices into a mug, and this is going to be saved for later for my gravy. Just be very careful when you're doing this because the chickens could fall out.
We're from a different time, yeah, we're of a different breed. 'Cause what we got is timeless, we still proceed.
I'm swapping the potatoes and the chickens around because it's cooler at the bottom and the chickens are almost done, and I want the potatoes to brown up nicely. So I'm just going to turn all of the potatoes to make them cook evenly.
And we're holding the key, yeah, we're tight as can be. We're rolling just like we please. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we go and we run to the end and we run without shame.
The potatoes are going back in, and I'm going to get the vegetables out and just give them a little stir and stick them straight back in, and I'm also going to stick the stuffing into the oven as well.
We own the game and we ride on the flames till the morning light, baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down.
Now it's time to prep my veg, and I'm just doing frozen peas and carrots, but you can do whatever veg you like.
Break all the rules, let them run and hide, baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. We're dynamite. We're dynamite.
I'm going to stick those straight onto boil as soon as I've chopped them all up. 20 minutes later, I drained my chickens of the juices again into the mug, and then I'm going to stick my Yorkshires in because my chickens are basically done. I stick them back in and then put all of the Yorkshire puddings on the potato tray.
Like a ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do your tricks.
Now it's time to get started on the gravy, so I'm just boiling up all of the juices and I topped it up with water just to fill the mug, and then I'm going to put some of it back in and then add some granules. I don't use an exact amount, I just add it until my gravy thickens, and I like a really thick gravy.
All I do is sing along. Yeah, I need you around for brighter light and firmer ground. When you believe in me, love is gonna set me free.
At this point everything is now done, so I'm just going to cut up the chickens and serve them. I'm just doing the kids ones for now. To serve everything, I usually just serve the chickens like this and let everybody carve their own chicken, or let someone carve it and serve it all out. And I'll separate all the potatoes and the Yorkshire puddings and everything else into serving plates and put them all down for everybody to just help themselves and make their own roast dinner plate. And yeah, that is the end result of my roast dinner. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you make this recipe, tag me in it on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!